conference room door opened at exactly 3:15 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon, and there she was, walking into what was supposed to be our couple's therapy session like she owned the place. My husband David had brought his mistress to our marriage counseling, claiming she was his emotional support person. What he didn't know was that I had brought something too: divorce papers that would strip him of everything he thought he could take for granted. But before we get to that moment of reckoning, you need to understand how a woman who once couldn't even order her own meal at restaurants became the CEO, who rebuilt her life from ashes and helped thousands of other women do the same. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow, I've saved something extra special for you. My name is Catherine Williams, and for 15 years, I lived what everyone else considered the perfect suburban life in Westfield, Connecticut. At 38 years old, I was the wife of Dr. David Williams, a prominent cardiologist who earned over $400,000 annually and commanded respect throughout our affluent community. We lived in a colonial mansion worth $1.2 million, complete with manicured gardens, a 3-car garage, and all the external markers of success that our neighbors envied. Yet beneath this carefully curated exterior, I had slowly disappeared. The confident marketing professional who had once managed campaigns for Fortune 500 companies had been gradually erased, replaced by someone who existed primarily to support David's career ambitions and maintain the facade of our ideal marriage. I had not worked outside our home for 12 years, having left my promising career at David's insistence when we decided to focus on starting a family. The irony was devastating. We never had children. After 3 years of unsuccessful attempts, expensive fertility treatments, and mounting emotional strain, David announced that perhaps it was better this way. His career demanded too much time and energy, he explained, and children would only complicate our lifestyle. I accepted this decision, as I had learned to accept most of David's pronouncements about our life direction, but something fundamental died inside me during those conversations. Our days followed rigid patterns that David established, and I maintained without question. He left for the hospital at 6:30 each morning after I prepared his breakfast to exact specifications: steel-cut oats with precisely measured blueberries, black coffee served at exactly 160 degrees, and the Wall Street Journal folded to display the market section. I spent my days managing our household, organizing David's social calendar, and participating in charity committees where my role was primarily decorative. The social dynamics of our community reinforced my diminished sense of self. At dinner parties and medical conferences, I was introduced as David's wife, rather than by name. Conversations directed toward me focused on home decoration, vacation planning, or other topics deemed appropriate for non-working spouses. When I occasionally attempted to contribute insights from my former marketing experience, the responses were politely dismissive, as if my previous professional life had been an amusing hobby rather than legitimate expertise. David controlled our finances completely, providing me with a household allowance that covered approved expenses while requiring justification for purchases beyond routine necessities. I had no access to investment accounts, retirement savings, or detailed information about our assets. When I expressed interest in returning to work or pursuing continuing education, David dismissed these ideas as unnecessary distractions from my primary responsibilities as his wife and hostess. The emotional distance between us had grown gradually but persistently over the years. David's physical presence in our home decreased as his professional commitments expanded, but even when he was present, his attention remained focused on medical journals, conference calls, or administrative tasks related to his practice. Our conversations became increasingly transactional, focused on scheduling, household logistics, or social obligations rather than meaningful personal connection. Intimacy had disappeared from our marriage years earlier, replaced by perfunctory interactions that felt more obligatory than affectionate. David often claimed exhaustion from his demanding schedule, and I learned to suppress my own needs for emotional and physical connection rather than risk accusations of being demanding or unsupportive. The bedroom became just another space where I accommodated his preferences, while my own desires remained unspoken and unmet. The isolation was profound, despite being surrounded by people at various social functions. I realized that I had no genuine friendships outside of David's professional network, no independent interests or pursuits that brought me personal satisfaction, and no clear sense of my own identity beyond my role as his wife. The marketing professional who had once thrived on creative challenges and strategic problem-solving had been buried beneath years of accommodation and self-sacrifice. My days blended together in monotonous routine. Wake at 5:30 to prepare David's breakfast, maintain the house to his standards, attend charity committee meetings where my contributions were minimal, plan dinner parties designed to advance David's professional relationships, and retire early while he worked late in his home office. The woman who had once presented marketing strategies to corporate executives now spent her time arranging flowers and ensuring wine glasses were spotless for David's colleagues. The initial signs of David's infidelity were subtle, easily rationalized by someone who had been trained to minimize her own perceptions and trust his explanations without question. His schedule became even more demanding, with additional evening conferences, weekend medical consultations, and overnight trips to distant hospitals that required his specialized expertise. These explanations seemed plausible given his reputation and the demands of cardiovascular medicine. However, small details began creating nagging doubts that I struggled to suppress. David's cologne preference changed suddenly from the understated scent he had worn throughout our marriage to something more distinctive and expensive. His clothing choices evolved toward more fashionable styles that seemed inconsistent with his previous conservative preferences. Most significantly, his phone became a closely guarded possession that never left his immediate vicinity, even during showers or brief trips to other rooms. The emotional climate of our home shifted in ways that were difficult to articulate but impossible to ignore. David became simultaneously more absent and more critical when present, finding fault with household arrangements that had previously satisfied him and expressing impatience with social obligations he had once considered important for his career advancement. His mood fluctuated unpredictably between distracted preoccupation and sharp irritability. I began noticing unexplained expenses on credit card statements that David managed exclusively. Charges for restaurants I had never visited, purchases from stores where we never shopped, and travel expenses that did not correspond to any medical conferences or professional trips he had mentioned. When I carefully inquired about these charges, David became defensive and accused me of excessive scrutiny of his legitimate business expenses. The most disturbing change was the complete cessation of any physical affection between us. David stopped the casual touches, brief kisses, and evening conversations that had once provided minimal connection despite our emotional distance. He began staying in his home office until well after I had gone to bed, and leaving the house before I woke, creating schedules that eliminated almost all personal interaction. Friends and neighbors began making comments that suggested they were observing changes in David's behavior that I was trying desperately to rationalize. Casual mentions of seeing him at restaurants during times when he had told me he was at the hospital, observations about his improved appearance and apparent happiness, and subtle questions about our relationship status indicated that others were noticing patterns I was struggling to acknowledge. The breaking point came during a medical conference weekend in Boston where I was expected to accompany David for the social events while he attended professional sessions. On Saturday evening, during the gala dinner, I watched David's interaction with Dr. Jessica Martinez, a young cardiologist who had recently joined his practice. Their body language, shared glances, and comfortable familiarity made it impossible to continue denying what had become obvious to everyone except me. Dr. Martinez was everything I had ceased to be. Professionally accomplished, intellectually engaged, physically vibrant, and clearly adored by David in ways he had not looked at me in years. She was 31 years old, recently divorced, and possessed the kind of confidence that comes from professional success and independence. During the dinner, I watched David transform into a version of himself I barely recognized, animated and charming, in ways that highlighted how withdrawn and distant he had become in our marriage. The realization hit me with devastating clarity. I was not just being replaced romantically, but I was being discarded as obsolete, unnecessary, and burdensome to the life David really wanted to live. The woman who had sacrificed her career, identity, and personal aspirations to support his ambitions was now viewed as an impediment to his continued happiness and success. Upon returning from Boston, I made the decision to address the situation directly rather than continue living in willful denial. I prepared carefully for this conversation, choosing a time when David would be relaxed and hoping that honest communication might lead to acknowledgement and possibly reconciliation. My expectations were naive, formed by years of accommodation and desperate hope for connection. When I asked David directly about his relationship with Dr. Martinez, his response shattered any remaining illusions about our marriage or his respect for me as a person. He did not deny the affair but instead became angry that I had been spying on him and making scenes in professional settings. His primary concern was protecting his reputation rather than addressing the devastation his choices had caused in our marriage. David explained that Jessica understood his professional demands and shared his intellectual interests in ways that I never could. She was his peer rather than his dependent, he said, and their relationship represented the kind of partnership he deserved at this stage of his career. The cruelty of his words was matched by his apparent conviction that he was entitled to pursue happiness regardless of the commitments he had made or the impact on my life. Most shocking was his assumption that I would quietly accept this arrangement and continue maintaining our household while he pursued his relationship with Jessica. He suggested that divorce would be financially devastating for both of us and socially awkward within the medical community where we were well known. His preference was for me to accommodate this new reality while maintaining the appearance of our marriage for professional and social purposes. The conversation revealed the depth of David's contempt for me and his complete disregard for my feelings, needs, or future. He viewed me as a household manager whose services he still required, rather than as a partner whose life had been fundamentally altered by his choices. His expectation that I would collaborate in my own humiliation demonstrated how thoroughly he had dismissed my worth and agency. When I expressed devastation and refused to accept his proposed arrangement, David became hostile and threatening. He reminded me that I had no independent income, no recent professional experience, and no legal claim to assets that he had earned through his medical practice. His message was clear: I could accept his terms or face financial ruin and social ostracism as a divorced woman with no resources or prospects. 3 weeks after our confrontational conversation, David announced that he had scheduled couples therapy sessions to, quote, work on our communication issues and rebuild our marriage. His sudden interest in therapeutic interventions seemed promising, suggesting possible recognition of the damage his affair had caused and genuine desire to repair our relationship. I agreed immediately, desperate for any opportunity to salvage the life we had built together. Dr. Rebecca Foster, the therapist David had selected, maintained a practice that specialized in helping professional couples navigate career-related stress and relationship challenges. Her credentials were impressive, her office was located in an upscale area that catered to affluent clients, and her approach emphasized practical problem-solving rather than prolonged emotional exploration. These characteristics seemed well-suited to our situation and David's preference for efficient, goal-oriented solutions. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. Our first session followed conventional patterns, with Dr. Foster gathering background information about our marriage history, current challenges, and individual perspectives on our relationship dynamics. David presented himself as a dedicated professional, struggling to balance career demands with marriage responsibilities, while I focused on our communication breakdown and my desire to reconnect emotionally and physically. During the second session, David introduced what he described as a, quote, transparency initiative designed to rebuild trust and eliminate secrets between us. He suggested that we should each be completely honest about our feelings, needs, and relationships outside our marriage. This proposal seemed reasonable and potentially healing, offering hope that David was prepared to end his affair and recommit to our marriage exclusively. However, David's interpretation of transparency differed dramatically from my expectations. Rather than ending his relationship with Jessica, he wanted permission to continue it while involving me in the process of accepting and accommodating this arrangement. His goal was not reconciliation, but rather my capitulation to a polyamorous situation that would serve his interests while maintaining our marriage for social and financial convenience. The third therapy session became the setting for David's most devastating betrayal yet. He arrived 15 minutes late, which was unusual given his obsessive punctuality in professional settings. When he entered Dr. Foster's office, he was accompanied by Jessica Martinez, whom he introduced as his emotional support partner, who would be participating in our session to facilitate honest communication about their relationship. The shock of seeing Jessica in our therapy session was overwhelming, but David's explanation was even more disturbing. He had apparently discussed our marriage problems with Jessica extensively, and valued her insights about our relationship dynamics. As a medical professional herself, Jessica understood the pressures David faced and could provide perspective that would help me adjust my expectations and behavior to support his needs more effectively. Dr. Foster appeared uncomfortable with this unprecedented arrangement, but did not immediately object, suggesting that unconventional approaches sometimes facilitated breakthrough conversations. Her professional curiosity about this dynamic seemed to override her ethical concerns about the appropriateness of including David's mistress in our couples therapy. Jessica's presence in the session transformed what should have been a safe space for marital healing into a humiliating performance where I was expected to discuss my inadequacies as a wife, while the other woman provided commentary and suggestions for improvement. The power dynamics were grotesquely distorted, with two medical professionals collaborating to convince me that accepting their affair was the mature, reasonable response to our marital challenges. As I sat in that therapy session, watching my husband and his mistress explain why their relationship was beneficial for everyone involved, something fundamental shifted inside me. The woman who had spent 15 years accommodating, apologizing, and diminishing herself to preserve her marriage, suddenly recognized the absolute absurdity and cruelty of what was being asked of her. Jessica spoke about David's happiness and professional fulfillment since their relationship began, suggesting that my role should be supporting his success rather than demanding exclusive attention that would diminish his effectiveness as a physician. She presented their affair as a mature arrangement that acknowledged realistic human needs while maintaining the stability of our established life structure. David nodded approvingly as Jessica outlined the benefits of our unconventional arrangement. I would continue managing our household and social obligations, while he pursued the intellectual and romantic connection he had found with Jessica. Everyone would benefit from this honest acknowledgement of our respective roles and contributions to his overall well-being and professional success. Dr. Foster asked for my response to this proposal, creating the moment when I was expected to either accept or reject the terms of my own humiliation. The silence in the room was absolute, as three people waited for me to demonstrate whether I would choose dignity or security, self-respect or financial stability. I reached into my purse and withdrew the manila envelope I had prepared 3 days earlier, after consulting with Margaret Chen, the most formidable divorce attorney in Connecticut. The papers inside that envelope represented 6 months of secret preparation, financial investigation, and strategic planning that would transform David's arrogant assumptions into devastating consequences. "I brought something to share as well," I said calmly, placing the divorce papers on the coffee table between us. "Since we're being transparent about our intentions and arrangements, I thought you should know that I've filed for divorce and am claiming 50% of all marital assets, including your medical practice, our real estate holdings, and your retirement accounts." The expression on David's face transformed from smug confidence to shock and then to panic as he realized that his carefully planned manipulation had backfired completely. Jessica's composure cracked as she understood that her presence in our therapy session would now be documented as evidence of alienation of affection in our divorce proceedings. Dr. Foster stared at the legal documents in stunned silence, recognizing that she had been manipulated into facilitating what was essentially a legal ambush rather than legitimate therapeutic intervention. Her professional reputation would be compromised by her participation in this ethically questionable session that had now become evidence in a contentious divorce case. But my transformation was just beginning. What David and Jessica had interpreted as weakness and dependence was about to become the foundation for rebuilding my life with a strength and purpose that would ultimately help thousands of other women escape similar situations of manipulation and control. The woman who entered that therapy session as a victim would leave as a warrior, and the journey that followed would prove that sometimes the most devastating betrayals become the catalyst for the most extraordinary transformations. The divorce papers that I placed on Dr. Foster's coffee table that afternoon represented 6 months of meticulous preparation that had begun the moment I witnessed David's behavior at the Boston Medical Conference. While he assumed I was wallowing in denial and self-pity, I had been systematically documenting evidence, securing legal representation, and building the financial foundation necessary to reclaim my independence. Margaret Chen, the attorney I had secretly retained, possessed a reputation for dismantling the assets of unfaithful husbands with surgical precision. Her practice specialized in representing women from affluent marriages, where complex financial structures required sophisticated legal strategies to ensure equitable distribution. Margaret's track record included several high-profile cases where she had successfully challenged prenuptial agreements and uncovered hidden assets that cheating spouses had attempted to shield from divorce settlements. Our initial consultation had been scheduled under the pretense of a spa appointment, with Margaret meeting me at an upscale wellness center, where affluent wives routinely spent entire afternoons without raising suspicion. During our 3-hour discussion, Margaret explained that successful divorce litigation required comprehensive preparation, strategic timing, and absolute discretion until the moment of legal filing. The evidence-gathering phase had been emotionally devastating, but legally essential. I had hired a private investigator named Robert Torres, a former police detective who specialized in documenting marital infidelity for divorce proceedings. Robert's surveillance revealed that David's relationship with Jessica had been ongoing for 18 months, included overnight stays at expensive hotels, and involved financial expenditures that could be traced through credit card records and bank statements. The financial investigation proved even more illuminating than the infidelity documentation. Margaret's forensic accountant, Linda Morrison, discovered that David had been systematically transferring assets to accounts that excluded my name, ostensibly for tax planning purposes, but actually to shield wealth from potential divorce settlements. These transfers included investment accounts worth over $2 million, a vacation property in the Hamptons purchased through a shell corporation, and valuable medical equipment leased to his practice through personal ownership structures. Most significantly, Linda's analysis revealed that David's medical practice was worth substantially more than he had ever disclosed. The practice's patient base, equipment, real estate, and goodwill represented assets totaling nearly $4 million. David had structured the practice ownership to minimize my potential claims, but Connecticut's equitable distribution laws provided mechanisms for claiming fair compensation for my contributions to building his career and supporting the practice's growth. Margaret explained that my 15 years of unpaid labor supporting David's career advancement represented quantifiable economic value that Connecticut courts recognized in divorce settlements. My role in entertaining clients, managing household responsibilities that enabled David's professional focus, and sacrificing my own career development had contributed measurably to the practice's success and David's earning capacity. The strategic timeline for revealing my divorce filing had been carefully calculated to maximize legal advantage while minimizing David's opportunities for asset protection or retaliation. Margaret advised waiting until after the Boston conference, where David's public behavior with Jessica would be witnessed by professional colleagues, creating additional evidence while eliminating his ability to claim the affair was recent or insignificant. During those 6 months of preparation, I had also been rebuilding my professional capabilities and personal confidence. I enrolled in continuing education courses for marketing professionals, updating my knowledge of digital marketing strategies, social media platforms, and data analytics tools that had evolved during my 12-year absence from the workforce. These courses were scheduled during David's hospital shifts and disguised as charity committee work or personal wellness activities. The academic coursework proved both challenging and exhilarating. My brain, which had been underutilized for years managing household logistics and social obligations, responded enthusiastically to complex problem-solving and strategic thinking. The marketing concepts that had once been second nature required updating and expansion, but the foundational understanding remained solid despite my extended absence from professional environments. I had also begun networking with former colleagues who had continued their marketing careers during my domestic years. These reconnections revealed that several agencies and corporations actively recruited experienced professionals who had taken career breaks, particularly women with senior-level experience and fresh perspectives gained through diverse life experiences. The marketing industry's emphasis on understanding consumer psychology and emotional motivation aligned perfectly with insights I had developed through years of observation and adaptation. Most importantly, I had been working with a personal therapist Drive, Sarah Martinez, no relation to David's mistress, who specialized in helping women recover from psychologically abusive relationships. Through our sessions, I began recognizing that my marriage had involved systematic emotional manipulation, designed to undermine my confidence and independence. David's control over finances, social connections, and decision-making had created learned helplessness that I was now methodically dismantling. Dr. Martinez helped me understand that David's current behavior represented an escalation of patterns that had been present throughout our marriage. His expectation that I would accept his affair and continue serving his needs reflected his fundamental view of me as property rather than a partner. The therapy session where he brought Jessica was intended to formalize this dynamic while making me complicit in my own subjugation. The silence that followed my revelation of the divorce papers lasted approximately 30 seconds. But the tension in that therapy office felt like hours of suspended animation. David's face cycled through expressions of shock, anger, and calculation as he processed the implications of my legal filing. Jessica appeared frozen in her chair, apparently realizing that her comfortable role as the other woman had suddenly become legally complicated and professionally dangerous. Dr. Foster was the first to speak, her voice carefully controlled but clearly strained. She explained that our session would need to conclude immediately given the legal circumstances that had been revealed. Her professional obligation required her to document the session's events, which would now become part of the divorce proceedings rather than privileged therapeutic communication. David's initial response was predictably focused on controlling the narrative and minimizing consequences for his reputation. He demanded to know how long I had been planning this legal action, and whether I had discussed our private matters with other people. His primary concern appeared to be damage control rather than acknowledgement of the pain his behavior had caused, or consideration of our relationship's future. Jessica's discomfort became increasingly obvious as she realized that her presence in our therapy session would be documented as evidence of the affair's duration and brazenness. Her attempt to leave quietly was interrupted by David's insistence that she remain to support him through this unexpected crisis. This demand revealed his expectation that she would prioritize his needs over her own professional reputation and legal exposure. My response to their obvious distress was a calm professionalism that surprised even me. I gathered my purse and coat while explaining that my attorney would be contacting David's legal representation to arrange asset disclosure and temporary support arrangements. The woman who had entered that therapy session seeking reconciliation was leaving as someone who had already moved beyond hoping for David's approval or cooperation. The walk to my car through the professional building's parking lot felt like emerging from underwater into breathable air. For the first time in years, I had acted decisively to protect my own interests rather than accommodating others' expectations or manipulations. The sensation was simultaneously terrifying and exhilarating, like stepping off a cliff while discovering I could fly. David called my phone repeatedly during the drive home, alternating between angry demands for explanation and conciliatory promises to end his relationship with Jessica if I would withdraw the divorce filing. His messages revealed his assumption that I had acted impulsively rather than strategically, and that he could still manipulate me into reconsidering my decision through alternating threats and promises. I did not answer his calls or respond to his messages. Margaret had advised that all communication should be conducted through attorneys once divorce papers were filed, both to prevent emotional manipulation and to ensure that any agreements were properly documented and legally enforceable. David's attempts to bypass this process demonstrated his continued belief that he could control me through direct pressure. The evening at home alone was the first time in 15 years that I had experienced complete autonomy over my environment and schedule. I could eat what I wanted, watch television programs of my choosing, and go to bed without accommodating David's preferences or schedule. This simple freedom felt revolutionary after years of constant accommodation and anticipation of his needs and moods. The following weeks established a routine that balanced legal proceedings with personal development and practical preparation for independent living. Margaret's office became a second workplace where I reviewed financial documents, provided testimony for depositions, and learned about legal strategies that would maximize my settlement while protecting my interests during the divorce process. The asset disclosure phase revealed the full extent of David's financial deception. He had hidden significantly more wealth than even Linda Morrison's initial investigation had uncovered. Offshore accounts, additional real estate holdings, and complex investment structures had been designed to appear legitimate while actually sheltering assets from potential divorce claims. David's efforts to protect his wealth from me proved that he had been contemplating divorce while publicly maintaining our marriage facade. Margaret's strategy involved aggressive discovery motions that compelled David to reveal all financial holdings while preventing him from transferring additional assets beyond my reach. The legal process required extensive documentation and testimony, but Margaret's expertise enabled us to uncover hidden wealth that would significantly increase my settlement beyond David's expectations or comfort level. Simultaneously, I was rebuilding my professional identity through consulting work with small businesses that needed marketing expertise but could not afford large agency fees. These projects allowed me to test my updated skills in real-world situations while generating income that demonstrated my capability for financial independence. The work was intellectually stimulating and emotionally fulfilling in ways I had forgotten were possible. My first consulting client was Maria Santos, who owned a small catering business serving the Latino community in nearby Hartford. Maria's food was exceptional, but her marketing was limited to word-of-mouth referrals and occasional social media posts. I developed a comprehensive marketing strategy that included professional photography, social media campaigns, corporate catering packages, and partnership relationships with event planners and wedding venues. The results exceeded both our expectations. Maria's revenue increased by 60% within 3 months, enabling her to hire additional staff and expand her services to new markets. More importantly, the project reminded me of the satisfaction that comes from using professional skills to create tangible positive impact for other people. Marketing was not just about selling products, but about connecting people with services that improved their lives. Word of my success with Maria's business led to referrals from other small business owners who needed marketing expertise, but had been priced out by traditional agencies. I began working with a massage therapist who wanted to expand beyond her home-based practice, a personal trainer who needed help building a client base, and a financial advisor who specialized in serving middle-income families but struggled with client acquisition. Each project reinforced my confidence in my professional capabilities while providing increasing evidence that I could generate substantial income through independent consulting work. The businesses I helped were thriving, their owners were grateful for my contributions, and my reputation for delivering results was spreading through networks of small business owners and entrepreneurs. Dr. Martinez continued to provide therapeutic support as I navigated the emotional challenges of divorce proceedings while rebuilding my professional identity. Our sessions focused on recognizing and dismantling the psychological patterns that had enabled David's manipulation while developing healthy boundaries and authentic self-advocacy skills. The therapy work revealed how thoroughly I had internalized David's negative assessments of my capabilities and worth. Years of subtle criticism and dismissive comments had created internal voices that questioned my judgment, minimized my achievements, and anticipated failure in new endeavors. Recognizing these patterns was essential for developing the confidence necessary to pursue ambitious goals and make independent decisions. I also began developing friendships with women who were building their own businesses or recovering from similar relationship challenges. These connections provided emotional support, practical advice, and social activities that did not revolve around couples or David's professional network. For the first time in years, I was forming relationships based on shared interests and mutual respect, rather than social obligation or strategic networking. 3 months after filing for divorce, I received an unexpected phone call from Jennifer Walsh, the marketing director at Hartfield & Associates, a mid-sized marketing agency that served regional businesses and nonprofit organizations. Jennifer had heard about my consulting work through mutual connections and was interested in discussing potential collaboration or employment opportunities. Hartfield & Associates had been struggling to serve smaller businesses that needed sophisticated marketing strategies but could not afford the agency's standard fee structure. Jennifer believed that my experience working with small business clients, combined with my background with larger corporations, could help them develop a new service division that addressed this underserved market segment. The initial meeting with Jennifer and the agency's founder, Richard Hartfield, was my first formal job interview in over 12 years. I prepared extensively, updating my portfolio with recent consulting projects and researching the agency's client base, competitive positioning, and growth opportunities. The preparation process reminded me of skills I had once taken for granted but needed to consciously reconstruct after years of disuse. Richard was immediately interested in my unique combination of corporate experience and recent small business consulting success. He explained that many agencies either focused exclusively on large corporate clients or provided limited services to small businesses, but few had developed expertise in serving both markets effectively. My background suggested the possibility of creating innovative service models that could expand their client base while maintaining profitability. The position they offered was Director of Small Business Services, with responsibility for developing and managing a new division that would serve companies with marketing budgets under $50,000 annually. This role would require creating service packages, hiring and training staff, establishing pricing structures, and building client relationships that demonstrated the agency's value while remaining financially viable. The salary offer was $85,000 annually, substantially more than I had expected for returning to professional work after an extended absence. More importantly, the position included equity participation that would provide long-term financial benefits if the new division succeeded. This compensation structure demonstrated Richard's confidence in my abilities while aligning my interests with the agency's growth objectives. I accepted the position immediately, recognizing that this opportunity provided not just income and professional development, but also the chance to create meaningful impact for small business owners who typically lacked access to sophisticated marketing expertise. The work would be challenging and demanding, but it aligned perfectly with my interests and capabilities, while providing the financial independence necessary to complete my divorce on favorable terms. My first day at Hartfield & Associates felt like emerging from hibernation into a world of possibilities and challenges that energized every aspect of my thinking and creativity. The office environment was collaborative and intellectually stimulating, filled with professionals who shared passion for creative problem-solving and client success. I had forgotten how much I thrived in environments that rewarded innovation, strategic thinking, and measurable results. The small business division's development required skills that combined my corporate marketing experience with insights gained through recent consulting work. I needed to understand how to deliver high-quality services efficiently, price offerings competitively while maintaining profitability, and build systems that could scale to serve dozens of clients simultaneously. Most importantly, this professional resurrection was happening simultaneously with my personal liberation from a marriage that had systematically diminished my capabilities and confidence. Every successful client project, positive performance review, and professional recognition served as evidence that David's assessments of my limitations had been manipulative lies designed to maintain his control rather than accurate evaluations of my potential. The woman who had been dismissed as dependent and obsolete was becoming someone whose expertise was valued, whose contributions were essential, and whose future was determined by her own choices rather than someone else's convenience. This transformation was just beginning, and the foundation being built would support achievements that would ultimately help thousands of other women escape similar circumstances of manipulation and control. 6 months into my position as Director of Small Business Services at Hartfield & Associates, I had transformed not merely my career trajectory but the agency's entire market approach. The Division 1, built from conceptual framework to operational reality, had exceeded all revenue projections, secured 43 active clients, and established Hartfield as the regional leader in comprehensive marketing services for emerging businesses. The success metrics spoke to strategic innovation rather than mere execution. Average client revenue increased by 78% within 4 months of engaging our services, with retention rates approaching 96%. These outcomes attracted industry attention and positioned Hartfield for expansion into new markets, while validating my approach to bridging the gap between enterprise-level strategy and small business implementation. Richard Hartfield had promoted me to Vice President of Strategic Development, a newly created position that encompassed both the small business division and responsibility for identifying additional growth opportunities throughout the agency. The promotion included salary adjustment to $120,000 annually, plus equity participation that would mature into significant financial benefit as the agency expanded its market presence. The professional recognition extended beyond Hartfield's internal acknowledgement. The Connecticut Marketing Association had invited me to present our small business service model at their annual conference, where agency leaders from throughout New England would examine our approach for potential replication in their own markets. This speaking engagement represented validation from industry peers and positioned me as a thought leader in accessible marketing services. The presentation preparation required distilling 18 months of practical experience into actionable insights that other agencies could implement effectively. I developed frameworks for service packaging, pricing strategies, client acquisition approaches, and delivery methodologies that balanced profitability with genuine value creation for small business owners who had previously been underserved by traditional marketing agencies. My personal transformation during this period was equally significant. The woman who had once required David's approval for household purchases now made strategic business decisions, affecting millions of dollars in client marketing investments. The confidence that emerged from professional success created positive feedback loops that enhanced my effectiveness in all aspects of life, from legal negotiations to personal relationships. The divorce proceedings had evolved into a complex financial battle, where David's initial confidence had transformed into desperate attempts to preserve assets he had assumed would remain beyond my reach. Margaret Chen's aggressive discovery process had uncovered additional hidden wealth, including a second offshore account and undisclosed ownership interest in a medical device company that generated substantial passive income. David's legal team had proposed settlement offers that increased significantly as the evidence of his financial deception accumulated. Their most recent proposal included $4 million in liquid assets, 50% ownership in his medical practice, full ownership of our Connecticut home, and ongoing alimony payments totaling $12,000 monthly for 7 years. Margaret advised that continued litigation would likely yield additional assets, but the current offer provided sufficient financial security to support any lifestyle I chose to pursue. The settlement negotiations had become a fascinating study in power dynamics and strategic positioning. David, who had assumed his medical expertise and social connections would protect him from significant financial consequences, discovered that family court judges were unimpressed by professional credentials when evaluating marital asset distribution and spousal support obligations. Jessica Martinez had removed herself from David's life entirely after receiving legal notification that she could be called as a witness in our divorce proceedings. Her romantic interest in David apparently did not extend to risking her medical career through public association with a contentious divorce case that could damage her professional reputation within the tight-knit cardiology community. The irony was profound. David had destroyed our marriage to pursue a relationship with someone who abandoned him the moment their affair created professional complications. His grand gesture of bringing Jessica to our therapy session had backfired so completely that he lost both his wife and his mistress, while facing financial consequences he had never anticipated. My success at Hartfield had created opportunities for strategic relationships with other professionals who served the small business community. I had developed collaborative partnerships with accountants, attorneys, business consultants, and financial advisors who regularly referred clients seeking marketing expertise while receiving referrals for complementary services their own clients required. These professional relationships evolved into an informal network of service providers who shared a commitment to supporting emerging businesses and entrepreneurs who might otherwise lack access to sophisticated professional services. We met monthly to discuss market trends, share referrals, and explore collaborative opportunities that could benefit our respective clients while expanding our own business development efforts. The network included Lisa Rodriguez, a business attorney who specialized in helping women and minority entrepreneurs navigate legal requirements for business formation and growth. Lisa's clients often needed marketing expertise to launch or expand their ventures, while my clients frequently required legal services for contracts, intellectual property protection, and business structure optimization. Michael Chen, a certified public accountant who focused on small business financial management, provided another valuable partnership. Michael's expertise in tax planning, financial analysis, and business valuation complemented my marketing services perfectly. Clients who engaged both our services achieved better results than those who addressed marketing and financial management separately. The network also included Dr. Patricia Williams, a business consultant who helped entrepreneurs develop strategic plans and operational systems for sustainable growth. Patricia's approach to business development aligned with my marketing philosophy of building sustainable competitive advantages rather than pursuing short-term promotional tactics. Most significantly, the network included Rebecca Foster, a financial advisor who specialized in helping women achieve financial independence through strategic planning and investment management. Rebecca's clients often included women who were rebuilding their lives after divorce, career transitions, or other major life changes that required comprehensive financial restructuring. These professional relationships provided more than business development opportunities. They created a community of accomplished women who understood the challenges of building careers while managing personal transitions and family responsibilities. Our informal support network proved invaluable during difficult periods of my divorce proceedings and professional development. The collaborative approach generated exceptional results for clients who accessed multiple services through our network. Small businesses that engaged marketing, legal, accounting, and strategic planning services simultaneously achieved growth rates and sustainability metrics that exceeded industry averages by significant margins. This success attracted attention from larger organizations interested in replicating our collaborative model. The Small Business Administration invited our network to present our approach at regional conferences, and several business schools requested case study information about our integrated service delivery methodology. 8 months after filing divorce papers, Margaret Chen and I sat across from David and his legal team in a conference room that felt like the final scene of a very expensive performance. The settlement agreement spread across the mahogany table represented not merely the dissolution of our marriage but the complete reversal of power dynamics that had defined our relationship for 15 years. The final settlement exceeded Margaret's initial projections substantially. David agreed to provide $5.2 million in liquid assets, including the proceeds from selling our Connecticut home and his share of various investment accounts. I would receive 40% ownership in his medical practice, generating ongoing passive income estimated at $60,000 annually. Additionally, David would pay alimony of $15,000 monthly for 5 years, with provisions for extension if his income increased substantially. Most importantly, the settlement included comprehensive non-disclosure and non-interference clauses that prevented David from discussing our marriage or divorce publicly, while prohibiting him from interfering with my professional activities or business relationships. These provisions protected my reputation and business interests, while limiting David's ability to retaliate through social or professional networks. The total value of the settlement approached $8 million when including present value calculations for ongoing payments and practice ownership income. This financial foundation provided complete independence and security, while enabling me to pursue ambitious professional goals without concern for basic living expenses or financial stability. David's demeanor during the settlement conference revealed his shock at the comprehensive nature of the financial consequences. He had entered our marriage assuming his medical degree and professional status would protect him from significant financial exposure in divorce proceedings. The reality of Connecticut's equitable distribution laws and the evidence of his asset concealment had created far more severe consequences than he had anticipated. The most satisfying moment came when David's attorney presented the final settlement documents for signature. David's hands trembled slightly as he signed papers that transferred substantial wealth to the woman he had dismissed as dependent and incapable. The arrogance that had characterized his treatment of me throughout our marriage had been replaced by subdued acceptance of terms he had no power to negotiate further. Margaret's closing statement to David's legal team was delivered with professional courtesy but unmistakable finality. She noted that the settlement reflected appropriate compensation for my contributions to David's career development and practice building, while the ongoing payments acknowledged the economic impact of my career sacrifice to support his professional advancement. Walking out of that conference room as a financially independent woman felt like emerging from a long imprisonment into a world of unlimited possibilities. The settlement provided not merely financial security, but the foundation for pursuing professional goals that could create meaningful impact for other women facing similar challenges of rebuilding their lives after devastating personal betrayals. The combination of professional success at Hartfield and financial independence from the divorce settlement created an unprecedented opportunity to consider larger ambitions. I began contemplating how my experience of transformation from dependent wife to successful business executive could be systematized to help other women navigate similar transitions more efficiently and successfully. The idea crystallized during a conversation with Rebecca Foster about her financial planning clients who were rebuilding their lives after divorce or other major life disruptions. Rebecca observed that women in these situations often possessed valuable skills and experience but lacked confidence, professional networks, and strategic guidance necessary to translate their capabilities into sustainable income generation. Many of Rebecca's clients had previously held successful careers before taking breaks for family responsibilities, relocating for spouses' careers, or focusing on other priorities. When circumstances required them to return to professional work, they faced significant challenges including outdated skills, limited professional networks, age discrimination, and psychological barriers related to confidence and self-advocacy. Traditional career counseling and job placement services often proved inadequate for addressing the complex challenges these women faced. Generic resume writing and interview coaching could not address the deeper issues of rebuilding professional identity, developing strategic career positioning, and creating sustainable competitive advantages in rapidly evolving job markets. I began developing concepts for a comprehensive program that would address these challenges through integrated services combining professional development, strategic planning, network building, and psychological support. The program would serve women who possessed educational backgrounds and work experience, but needed structured guidance for translating their capabilities into financial independence and career satisfaction. The service model would integrate marketing expertise with career development, helping women identify their unique value propositions, develop compelling professional narratives, and implement strategic approaches to job searching or business development. This approach differed from traditional career services by emphasizing strategic positioning and personal branding, rather than merely matching skills to available positions. The psychological component would address confidence building, goal setting, and mindset transformation necessary for successful career transitions. This element would draw on my own experience of overcoming learned helplessness and developing authentic self-advocacy skills while building professional competence and industry recognition. Market research revealed substantial demand for such services. Thousands of women in our region were seeking career transition support that addressed both practical requirements and psychological barriers to professional success. Existing services fragmented across multiple providers often proved expensive and ineffective for addressing the interconnected challenges these women faced. The business model would generate revenue through individual coaching services, group programs, corporate workshop presentations, and potentially online course offerings that could scale beyond local geographic limitations. This diversified revenue approach would provide financial sustainability while maximizing accessibility for women with varying financial resources and time constraints. I began developing the business concept systematically while maintaining my responsibilities at Hartfield & Associates. Richard had been supportive of my entrepreneurial interests, recognizing that my additional expertise in career transition services could benefit Hartfield's clients while potentially creating partnership opportunities between our organizations. The preliminary business plan outlined services addressing 4 key areas: professional skill development, strategic career positioning, network building, and mindset transformation. Each component would be available as standalone services or integrated into comprehensive programs designed for women seeking complete career reconstruction. Professional skill development would include technology training, industry-specific certification preparation, communication skills enhancement, and project management capabilities. These services would address the practical requirements for competing effectively in modern professional environments while accommodating different learning styles and time constraints. Strategic career positioning would help women identify their unique value propositions, develop compelling professional narratives, and create marketing materials that effectively communicated their capabilities to potential employers or clients. This component would draw heavily on my marketing expertise while adapting traditional business marketing concepts to personal career development. Network building would facilitate connections between program participants and established professionals, potential mentors, industry leaders, and peer support groups. This component would address the critical importance of professional relationships in career advancement while helping women develop authentic networking skills and maintain valuable connections over time. Mindset transformation would address confidence building, goal setting, self-advocacy skills, and resilience development. This component would help women overcome psychological barriers while developing the mental frameworks necessary for sustained professional success and personal satisfaction. The program would also incorporate financial planning education in partnership with professionals like Rebecca Foster, ensuring that career transition success translated into long-term financial security and independence. This holistic approach would address the interconnected nature of professional, financial, and personal development. Initial market testing through informal focus groups revealed enthusiastic response from potential clients who had been seeking exactly this type of comprehensive support. Women consistently expressed frustration with existing services that addressed individual components while failing to integrate the various elements necessary for successful career transformation. The business concept felt like the natural evolution of my own transformation journey. Having rebuilt my life from dependency to independence through strategic planning, skill development, and mindset transformation, I could now systemize this process to help other women achieve similar results more efficiently and with greater support. This vision would soon become the foundation for an organization that would ultimately serve thousands of women while generating substantial business success and industry recognition. The woman who had been dismissed as dependent and obsolete was preparing to become someone who would transform countless lives while building a business empire that proved the extraordinary potential that exists within every individual who refuses to accept limitations imposed by others. The decision to leave Hartfield & Associates and launch my own venture required careful consideration of timing, financial resources, and market conditions. After 18 months as Vice President of Strategic Development, I had established credibility within the marketing industry, while building the professional network and expertise necessary to support an independent practice focused on career transition services for women. Richard Hartfield had offered to expand my role further, including potential partnership opportunities that would have provided substantial financial rewards and professional security. However, the entrepreneurial vision that had been developing demanded complete focus and creative freedom that would be impossible within an existing organizational structure, regardless of how supportive the leadership might be. The financial foundation for my divorce settlement provided unprecedented freedom to pursue ambitious goals without concern for immediate income generation or basic living expenses. This security enabled strategic planning that prioritized long-term impact and sustainable growth rather than short-term revenue requirements that might compromise service quality or mission alignment. I established Phoenix Career Solutions in January, exactly 2 years after the therapy session confrontation that had catalyzed my personal transformation. The company name reflected the concept of rising from devastating circumstances to achieve extraordinary success, which resonated with the target audience of women rebuilding their professional lives after major life disruptions. The initial business structure combined individual coaching services with group programs and corporate workshop offerings designed to address different market segments while maximizing revenue potential. Individual coaching would serve women seeking personalized guidance for complex career transitions, while group programs would provide peer support and shared learning experiences at lower price points that increased accessibility. Corporate workshops would address organizations interested in supporting female employees through career development initiatives, return-to-work programs, or leadership advancement opportunities. This corporate market represented significant revenue potential while expanding the reach of career transition services to women who might not seek individual coaching independently. The service delivery model integrated professional development with psychological support through partnerships with licensed therapists who specialized in career transitions and women's empowerment. This collaboration ensured that clients received comprehensive support, addressing both practical requirements and emotional barriers that could undermine career advancement efforts. Technology infrastructure included a sophisticated client management system that tracked progress across multiple development areas while facilitating communication between coaching sessions. Online learning modules complemented individual coaching by providing flexible access to skill development content that clients could complete according to their schedules and learning preferences. The physical office space was designed to convey professionalism while creating an environment that felt supportive and inspiring rather than intimidating. Located in a prestigious business district in Hartford, the office included individual consultation rooms, a conference facility for group programs, and a resource library containing career development materials, industry publications, and professional networking directories. The initial marketing strategy focused on establishing credibility within professional networks, while building awareness among potential clients who were actively seeking career transition support. This approach emphasized relationship building and referral generation, rather than traditional advertising that might attract clients who were not genuinely committed to career development investment. Professional referral sources included attorneys who represented women in divorce proceedings, financial advisors who served clients rebuilding their lives after major transitions, and therapists who worked with women addressing confidence and career-related challenges. These professionals regularly encountered women who needed career transition support but lacked resources or knowledge about available services. Rebecca Foster became the first formal referral partner, recommending Phoenix Career Solutions to financial planning clients who needed career development to achieve their financial independence goals. Her endorsement carried significant weight with women who trusted her financial expertise and appreciated her recommendation of complementary services that aligned with their comprehensive life planning needs. Lisa Rodriguez provided another valuable referral source through her legal practice serving women entrepreneurs and small business owners. Many of her clients were transitioning from traditional employment to business ownership or returning to professional work after extended breaks, making them ideal candidates for career transition coaching services. The networking strategy included active participation in professional organizations serving women in business, including the Connecticut Women's Business Council, the National Association of Women Business Owners, and various industry-specific groups that attracted women seeking career advancement or transition support. Speaking engagements at these organizations provided opportunities to demonstrate expertise while building credibility with potential clients and referral sources. Presentations focused on practical strategies for career transition success, including topics such as strategic professional positioning, effective networking techniques, and overcoming confidence barriers that prevented women from pursuing ambitious career goals. The first group program launch attracted 12 participants who represented diverse professional backgrounds and career transition goals. The 8-week program combined skill development workshops with peer support sessions and individual coaching consultations that addressed specific challenges each participant faced. Program participants included a former teacher seeking to transition into corporate training, a marketing professional returning to work after 10 years of family focus, an attorney exploring business ownership opportunities, and a financial services executive pursuing industry transition after organizational restructuring. This diversity created rich learning opportunities while demonstrating the universal applicability of strategic career development principles. The program results exceeded expectations in both participant satisfaction and measurable outcomes. 10 of 12 participants secured new employment or launched business ventures within 6 months of program completion, with average salary increases of 43% compared to their previous positions. These results provided compelling evidence of program effectiveness while generating testimonials and referrals that supported continued business growth. The success of initial programs revealed opportunities for developing specialized services that addressed specific market segments with unique requirements and challenges. These innovations would differentiate Phoenix Career Solutions from traditional career counseling services while maximizing impact for clients facing distinct types of career transitions. The Executive Transition Program was designed for women with significant professional experience, who were seeking senior-level positions or board appointments that required sophisticated positioning strategies and high-level networking approaches. These clients possessed advanced skills and substantial accomplishments but often lacked confidence or strategic guidance necessary for competing effectively at executive levels. The entrepreneurship track served women interested in launching their own businesses rather than returning to traditional employment. This program integrated business planning with personal development while providing access to funding resources, legal guidance, and marketing expertise necessary for successful business launches. The Return to Work program addressed women who had taken extended career breaks for family responsibilities or other personal priorities, and faced unique challenges related to skill updating, confidence rebuilding, and addressing employment gaps in competitive job markets. This program required specialized approaches that acknowledged both the value of diverse life experiences and the practical requirements for professional re-entry. The Career Pivot program served women seeking complete industry transitions who needed to develop new professional identities while leveraging transferable skills and experience. These clients often face skepticism from potential employers who question their commitment to new industries, requiring sophisticated positioning strategies that emphasized relevant capabilities and genuine motivation for change. Each specialized program incorporated the core elements of professional development, strategic positioning, network building, and mindset transformation, while adapting delivery methods and content focus to address specific requirements and challenges associated with different types of career transitions. The program development process included extensive market research, pilot testing with small groups, and continuous refinement based on participant feedback and outcome measurement. This systematic approach ensured that service offerings addressed genuine market needs while maintaining high-quality standards that supported positive client outcomes and business reputation. Corporate partnership opportunities emerged as organizations recognized the value of supporting female employees through career development initiatives that improved retention, advancement, and leadership pipeline development. These partnerships generated revenue while expanding service reach to women who might not independently seek career transition support. The first corporate partnership was established with Meridian Financial, where I had previously worked with Dr. Elena Vasquez on the Microfinance Algorithm project. The organization contracted Phoenix Career Solutions to provide career development support for female employees seeking advancement opportunities or transitioning between departments within the company. This corporate program served 23 participants over 6 months and achieved remarkable results, including internal promotions for 67% of participants and measurable improvements in leadership confidence and strategic thinking capabilities. The success attracted attention from other organizations interested in similar employee development initiatives. The systematic approach to outcome measurement became a defining characteristic of Phoenix Career Solutions that differentiated the organization from traditional career services that relied primarily on client satisfaction rather than measurable professional advancement. This emphasis on data-driven results provided compelling evidence of program effectiveness while supporting continuous improvement efforts. Client tracking systems monitored progress across multiple dimensions, including employment status, compensation levels, job satisfaction, leadership responsibilities, and long-term career trajectory development. This comprehensive measurement approach provided insights into program effectiveness while identifying opportunities for service enhancement and expansion. The data revealed consistent patterns of success across different program tracks and client demographics. Average salary increases ranged from 35% to 60% depending on program type and individual circumstances, while job satisfaction improvements exceeded 90% for clients who completed full programs rather than individual coaching sessions only. Professional advancement outcomes included promotions to leadership roles, successful business launches, board appointment achievements, and industry transition successes that demonstrated the effectiveness of strategic career development approaches compared to traditional job search strategies that focused primarily on matching skills to available positions. The success metrics attracted attention from business publications and professional organizations interested in understanding the methodology behind these exceptional outcomes. Harvard Business Review requested a case study about the integrated approach to career transition support, while the National Association of Women Business Owners invited presentation opportunities at regional and national conferences. Media coverage included features in Connecticut Business Magazine, Working Mother publication, and several online platforms that served professional women seeking career advancement resources. This visibility generated inquiries from potential clients throughout New England while establishing national recognition for innovative approaches to career transition support. The growing demand for services required strategic decisions about expansion approaches that would maintain service quality while increasing market reach and revenue generation. Options included hiring additional coaches, developing online program delivery capabilities, creating certification programs for other professionals, and establishing franchise opportunities in additional geographic markets. The hiring strategy prioritized experienced professionals who combined relevant expertise with genuine commitment to empowering women through career development. The team expansion included former corporate executives with human resources and organizational development backgrounds, licensed therapists specializing in career transitions, and successful entrepreneurs who could provide authentic guidance for women pursuing business ownership. Training and certification programs ensured consistent service delivery while maintaining the high standards that had established Phoenix Career Solutions' reputation for exceptional client outcomes. All team members completed comprehensive training in the integrated methodology while developing expertise in specific program tracks that aligned with their backgrounds and interests. Quality control systems included regular client feedback collection, peer consultation opportunities, and continuous professional development requirements that ensured team members remained current with industry trends and best practices. This systematic approach to service delivery excellence supported continued business growth while maintaining the client outcomes that differentiated Phoenix Career Solutions from competitors. The combination of exceptional client outcomes and innovative service approaches positioned Phoenix Career Solutions as a thought leader in career transition services within 18 months of launch. Industry recognition included awards from professional organizations, invitations to serve on advisory boards, and opportunities to influence policy discussions related to women's workforce participation and career development. The Connecticut Women's Business Council recognized Phoenix Career Solutions as Small Business of the Year, acknowledging both the commercial success and social impact of the organization's work supporting women's economic empowerment. This recognition provided credibility, while creating additional opportunities for visibility and business development. Speaking engagements expanded to include national conferences where I presented research findings about effective career transition strategies and discussed policy implications of supporting women's workforce participation. These presentations positioned Phoenix Career Solutions as an authority on career development while generating inquiries from potential clients and partners throughout the country. The success story attracted attention from potential investors interested in supporting expansion of proven career development services to additional geographic markets. While maintaining independence remained important, these discussions provided insights into scaling opportunities that could increase impact while preserving service quality and mission alignment. Advisory board appointments included positions with nonprofit organizations serving women's economic development, educational institutions developing career services programs, and government agencies addressing workforce development challenges. These roles provided opportunities to influence broader systemic changes while building relationships that supported continued business growth. The transformation from dependent spouse to recognized industry leader had exceeded every expectation I had held during the darkest periods of my marriage dissolution. The woman who had been dismissed as incapable had built an organization that was changing lives while achieving commercial success and professional recognition that validated every risk taken during the entrepreneurial journey. This foundation would support even greater achievements as Phoenix Career Solutions continued expanding its impact while developing innovative approaches to addressing the complex challenges women faced in building careers that provided both financial independence and personal fulfillment. The journey that began with devastating betrayal had become a mission that would ultimately transform thousands of lives, while building lasting positive change in how society supported women's professional development and advancement. The second year of Phoenix Career Solutions operation brought unprecedented opportunities for expansion that required sophisticated strategic planning and operational scaling. National recognition from industry publications and professional organizations had generated inquiries from women throughout the United States who sought access to career transition services that addressed their comprehensive development needs rather than merely providing resume assistance or generic job search coaching. The Harvard Business Review case study publication generated particular interest from corporate human resources departments and diversity and inclusion executives who recognized the potential for addressing persistent challenges related to women's career advancement and retention. The comprehensive approach that integrated professional development with psychological support and strategic positioning resonated with organizations seeking evidence-based solutions for supporting female leadership pipeline development. Corporate partnership opportunities emerged from Fortune 500 companies, including IBM, Johnson & Johnson, and Aetna Insurance, each seeking to implement career development programs that would improve outcomes for female employees while demonstrating commitment to gender equity initiatives. These organizations recognized that traditional mentorship programs and leadership development offerings had failed to address systemic barriers that prevented women from achieving advancement proportional to their qualifications and performance. The IBM partnership represented the most comprehensive corporate engagement, involving customized program development for 300 female employees across technical, management, and executive tracks. The program design required adaptation of Phoenix Career Solutions methodology to address specific challenges within technology industries while maintaining the integrated approach that had generated exceptional outcomes for individual clients. Program implementation within IBM required extensive coordination with internal human resources teams, diversity and inclusion leadership, and departmental managers who would support participant development throughout the 12-month engagement. This collaboration provided valuable insights into organizational dynamics that either supported or hindered women's career advancement within large corporations. The Johnson & Johnson partnership focused on addressing the unique challenges faced by women in pharmaceutical and healthcare industries, where scientific expertise required integration with business acumen and leadership capabilities. The program served 150 participants across research, clinical development, and commercial functions, while emphasizing the development of executive presence and strategic thinking capabilities. Aetna Insurance contracted Phoenix Career Solutions to develop programming for women returning to work after extended career breaks, recognizing that traditional return-to-work initiatives had achieved limited success due to their focus on skills updating rather than comprehensive professional identity rebuilding. This program served 200 participants while providing valuable research data about effective approaches to career reentry support. The corporate partnership revenue exceeded projections significantly, generating over $2 million in annual contracted services, while providing stable cash flow that supported continued innovation and program development. More importantly, these partnerships enabled service delivery to women who might not have independently sought career transition support, while demonstrating organizational commitment to supporting female advancement. The increasing demand for services across broader geographic regions required development of technology infrastructure that could deliver high-quality career development support through digital platforms, while maintaining the personalized approach that had generated exceptional client outcomes. This technological expansion represented a strategic investment in scalability that would enable national service delivery without compromising quality standards. The digital platform development integrated video conferencing capabilities with learning management systems, progress tracking tools, and community building features that replicated the supportive environment of in-person programs. The technology architecture supported both individual coaching delivery and group program facilitation, while providing clients with access to resource libraries, skill development modules, and peer networking opportunities. The online learning components included professionally produced video content covering strategic career positioning, professional communication, negotiation techniques, and leadership development topics. These modules provided flexible access to core content, while individual coaching sessions addressed specific challenges and customized strategy development for each participant's unique circumstances. The community platform enabled program alumni to maintain connections while supporting new participants through mentorship relationships and shared experience discussions. This peer support network proved invaluable for sustaining motivation and accountability throughout extended career transition processes, while creating lasting professional relationships that continued generating value long after program completion. Quality assurance systems ensured that digital service delivery maintained the same standards and outcomes as in-person programming. Regular client satisfaction surveys, outcome tracking, and continuous platform refinement supported service excellence, while identifying opportunities for enhancement and expansion. The technology investment required significant capital allocation and technical expertise that extended beyond Phoenix Career Solutions' internal capabilities. Strategic partnerships with software development firms and educational technology companies provided access to specialized knowledge while maintaining cost-effectiveness and development timeline efficiency. The platform launch enabled service delivery to clients in 43 states within 6 months of deployment, with particularly strong demand from metropolitan areas including Seattle, Austin, Atlanta, and Denver, where concentrations of professional women sought career advancement support. This geographic expansion validated the universal applicability of career development services while demonstrating market demand that supported continued growth investment. The systematic approach to outcome measurement and client tracking had generated substantial data about effective career transition strategies that provided foundation for research initiatives and thought leadership development. This research focus differentiated Phoenix Career Solutions from service providers who relied primarily on anecdotal evidence while establishing credibility within academic and professional communities. The research program examined factors that contributed to successful career transitions, including the relative importance of skills development, strategic positioning, network building, and mindset transformation across different demographics and career change types. This analysis provided insights that informed program enhancement while contributing to broader understanding of women's career development challenges and opportunities. Collaboration with university researchers at Yale School of Management and University of Connecticut Business School provided access to academic expertise and research methodologies that enhanced data analysis while creating opportunities for publication in peer-reviewed journals. These academic partnerships elevated the credibility of findings while providing access to additional resources and research funding opportunities. The first major research publication appeared in the Journal of Career Development and examined the effectiveness of integrated career transition services compared to traditional approaches that addressed individual components separately. The study demonstrated that comprehensive programming generated significantly better outcomes across multiple measures, including salary advancement, job satisfaction, and long-term career trajectory development. Subsequent research publications addressed specific aspects of career transition support, including the role of psychological barriers in limiting women's advancement, effective approaches to career pivot strategies, and the impact of peer support networks on sustaining career development motivation. These publications established thought leadership while contributing to evidence-based practices within career development professions. Speaking engagements at academic conferences and professional organizations provided opportunities to present research findings while building relationships with other researchers and practitioners interested in women's career development. These presentations generated invitations for collaborative research projects, while establishing Phoenix Career Solutions as a credible voice in policy discussions about workforce development and gender equity. The research initiatives also attracted attention from foundation and government funding sources interested in supporting evidence-based approaches to women's economic empowerment. Grant funding opportunities provided resources for expanding research activities while demonstrating social impact that aligned with organizational mission and values. The success of domestic operations and growing recognition within career development communities had generated inquiries from international organizations interested in implementing similar programs for women in their respective markets. These opportunities represented potential for significant expansion, while requiring careful consideration of cultural adaptation and operational complexity associated with international service delivery. The initial international inquiry came from the Canadian Women's Foundation, which sought to develop career transition services for women in Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, who faced similar challenges to those addressed by Phoenix Career Solutions programming. The cultural similarities between Canadian and American professional environments suggested that program adaptation would be relatively straightforward, while the market demand appeared substantial. European opportunities emerged through connections with business schools and professional organizations in London, Dublin, and Amsterdam, where concentrations of international businesses had created demand for sophisticated career development services. These markets presented additional complexity related to diverse cultural backgrounds and varying professional advancement structures across different countries and industries. The most intriguing international opportunity came from Australia, where government agencies responsible for women's workforce participation had identified career transition support as a priority area for addressing persistent gender gaps in leadership and earnings. The Australian market offered potential for large-scale impact, while providing government backing that could facilitate rapid program deployment and client acquisition. Each international opportunity required extensive market research and cultural adaptation planning to ensure program effectiveness while maintaining quality standards. The core methodology appeared universally applicable, but delivery approaches, communication styles, and specific content focus required customization to address regional differences in professional cultures and career advancement expectations. Strategic partnerships with local organizations provided essential market knowledge and operational support, while reducing investment requirements and implementation risks. These partnerships enabled Phoenix Career Solutions to provide expertise and methodology, while local partners contributed market understanding and client development capabilities. The international expansion planning process revealed opportunities for developing franchise or licensing models that could enable broader geographic reach while maintaining quality control and brand consistency. These approaches would generate revenue through initial fees and ongoing royalties, while enabling local entrepreneurs to build businesses serving women in their respective markets. The rapid growth and expansion opportunities required strategic hiring of senior leadership team members who could manage operational complexity, while maintaining the service quality and mission focus that had established Phoenix Career Solutions' reputation. The leadership development process emphasized both professional expertise and authentic commitment to empowering women through career development. The Chief Operating Officer position was filled by Monica Rivera, a former management consultant with extensive experience in scaling service-based businesses while maintaining quality standards. Monica's background included successful expansions of consulting firms and professional services organizations that required sophisticated operational systems and team development capabilities. The Chief Technology Officer role was assigned to Jennifer Kim, a software development executive who had previously led technology initiatives for educational and human resources organizations. Jennifer's expertise in platform development and user experience design proved essential for creating digital service delivery capabilities that maintained engagement and effectiveness across virtual interactions. The Vice President of Corporate Partnerships position was established for David Chen, a former corporate human resources executive who possessed extensive relationships within Fortune 500 companies and deep understanding of organizational development challenges related to diversity and inclusion initiatives. David's industry knowledge and credibility facilitated corporate partnership development while ensuring program design aligned with client organizational needs. The Vice President of Research and Development role was created for Dr. Patricia Williams, a licensed psychologist with specialization in career development and women's empowerment, who brought academic credibility and research expertise to program development and outcome measurement initiatives. Patricia's background enabled evidence-based program enhancement while supporting thought leadership development. Each leadership team member brought complementary expertise while sharing commitment to the organizational mission of empowering women through comprehensive career development support. The diverse backgrounds and experience levels created collaborative dynamics that enhanced strategic planning while ensuring operational excellence across all service delivery areas. Team development initiatives included regular strategic planning sessions, professional development opportunities, and performance management systems that aligned individual contributions with organizational objectives. The leadership culture emphasized innovation, collaboration, and continuous improvement, while maintaining focus on client outcomes and social impact. The expanded leadership team enabled delegation of operational responsibilities, while allowing continued focus on strategic vision development and external relationship building. This organizational maturity supported more ambitious expansion plans while ensuring sustainable growth that preserved service quality and mission alignment. The professional success and organizational growth had created opportunities for continued personal development that extended beyond career advancement to encompass comprehensive life satisfaction and authentic relationship building. The woman who had once defined herself primarily through marriage and household management had evolved into someone whose identity integrated professional achievement with personal fulfillment and meaningful social contribution. The financial independence achieved through divorce settlement and business success provided freedom to make decisions based on personal values and long-term goals, rather than immediate financial pressures or external expectations. This autonomy enabled strategic thinking about life direction, while supporting risk-taking and innovation that might not have been possible under different circumstances. Personal relationships had evolved to reflect authentic interests and values, rather than social obligations or strategic networking requirements. Friendships developed through professional activities and shared interests provided genuine connection and mutual support, while romantic relationships could be evaluated based on compatibility and respect, rather than financial security or social status considerations. The relationship with my daughters Emma and Sophie had strengthened significantly as they observed their mother's transformation and achievement. Both young women, now in college, expressed pride in their mother's professional success, while demonstrating their own confidence and ambition that reflected positive modeling of resilience and determination. Emma had chosen to study business and public policy, with interest in nonprofit leadership and social impact initiatives. Her academic focus and internship experiences suggested career interests that aligned with creating positive change while building professional success. Our conversations about career development and life planning provided opportunities for sharing insights while supporting her own goal setting and strategic thinking. Sophie had pursued computer science and entrepreneurship studies, with particular interest in technology applications for social good. Her technical abilities and innovative thinking suggested potential for developing solutions that addressed complex social challenges while building sustainable business models. Her understanding of Phoenix Career Solutions methodology had influenced her approach to academic and professional development planning. The personal growth had also encompassed health and wellness priorities that had been neglected during years of focusing primarily on accommodating others' needs and expectations. Regular exercise, nutritious eating, adequate sleep, and stress management had become integral aspects of maintaining the energy and focus necessary for professional responsibilities, while enhancing overall life satisfaction. Travel opportunities for both business and personal enrichment had expanded horizons while providing perspective on different cultures and approaches to work-life integration. These experiences informed program development while contributing to personal growth and global awareness that enhanced leadership capabilities and strategic thinking. The transformation journey that began with devastating betrayal had evolved into comprehensive life reconstruction that integrated professional achievement with personal fulfillment and social contribution. This evolution would continue as Phoenix Career Solutions expanded its impact while creating additional opportunities for meaningful work that aligned with deepest values and long-term vision for positive change. The third year of Phoenix Career Solutions operation marked the beginning of international expansion that would transform the organization from a regional success story into a global leader in women's career development services. The systematic approach to program adaptation and cultural sensitivity that had been developed through extensive research and partnership planning enabled successful launches in 6 countries while maintaining the effectiveness standards that had established the organization's reputation. The Canadian market entry through partnership with the Canadian Women's Foundation exceeded all projections for client engagement and outcome achievement. The program served 400 women across Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal during the inaugural year, with career advancement results that matched domestic performance metrics despite cultural and regulatory differences between the 2 countries. The success in Canada validated the universal applicability of the integrated career development methodology, while demonstrating the importance of local partnership relationships for effective market penetration. The Canadian Women's Foundation provided essential credibility and client development support, while Phoenix Career Solutions contributed program expertise and quality assurance systems that ensured consistent service delivery standards. The European expansion required more complex adaptation strategies due to diverse cultural contexts and varying professional advancement structures across different countries. The London launch focused on addressing the unique challenges faced by women in financial services and consulting industries, where traditional advancement pathways had been particularly resistant to gender equity initiatives. The Dublin program emphasized technology and pharmaceutical industries that represented significant concentrations of multinational corporations with substantial female workforce populations. The cultural emphasis on education and professional development in Ireland created favorable conditions for sophisticated career transition services, while the presence of numerous American companies facilitated corporate partnership development. The Amsterdam Initiative addressed the distinctive challenges of women working within international organizations and global consulting firms, where career advancement often required geographic mobility and cultural adaptability. The Netherlands market provided opportunities for developing specialized programming that addressed international career development while maintaining focus on comprehensive professional identity building. Each European market required extensive regulatory compliance research and adaptation of service delivery approaches to align with local employment laws and professional development standards. The investment in legal consultation and cultural adaptation proved essential for establishing credibility, while avoiding operational complications that could have undermined program effectiveness. The Australian expansion represented the most ambitious international initiative, involving collaboration with government agencies responsible for women's workforce participation and economic empowerment. The Australian Women's Economic Security Initiative provided funding support for program development while creating opportunities for large-scale impact measurement and policy influence. The program design for Australia incorporated specific focus on addressing geographic challenges related to service delivery across vast distances, while accommodating the diverse needs of urban and rural professional women. Technology platform capabilities proved essential for reaching clients in remote locations while maintaining program quality and peer support network benefits. Government partnership relationships in Australia created opportunities for policy research and recommendation development that could influence systemic changes supporting women's career advancement. This policy engagement represented expansion beyond direct service delivery into broader advocacy and structural change initiatives that aligned with organizational mission and values. The success of initial corporate partnerships had generated demand for more comprehensive enterprise solutions that addressed organizational culture change alongside individual career development programming. These expanded engagements required sophisticated consulting capabilities and organizational development expertise that represented significant evolution from the original service model focused primarily on individual client support. The IBM partnership had evolved into a multi-year engagement encompassing leadership pipeline development, organizational culture assessment, and systemic barrier identification that prevented women from advancing proportionally to their qualifications and performance. This comprehensive approach required collaboration with executive leadership teams while maintaining focus on measurable outcomes and sustainable change implementation. The organizational culture assessment component involved extensive data collection through employee surveys, focus group discussions, and leadership interviews that identified specific policies, practices, and informal dynamics that either supported or hindered women's career advancement. This analysis provided foundation for targeted intervention strategies that addressed root causes rather than merely symptoms of gender advancement disparities. The Leadership Pipeline Development Initiative created structured pathways for women's advancement through mentorship programs, stretch assignment opportunities, and executive sponsorship relationships that provided visibility and advocacy for high-potential female employees. These programs required careful design to avoid stigmatization, while ensuring that participants received meaningful development opportunities and advancement support. The systemic barrier identification process revealed complex organizational dynamics that required multifaceted intervention strategies, addressing everything from meeting culture and communication styles to performance evaluation criteria and succession planning processes. This comprehensive approach necessitated collaboration with human resources leadership, diversity and inclusion teams, and senior executives who could implement policy changes and cultural modifications. Johnson & Johnson had requested development of specialized programming for women in scientific and research roles who faced unique challenges related to technical expertise recognition and transition into leadership positions that required business acumen alongside scientific knowledge. This program required deep understanding of pharmaceutical industry dynamics while addressing confidence barriers that often prevented highly qualified women from pursuing advancement opportunities. The scientific leadership track integrated technical skill validation with business strategy development, executive communication training, and industry networking opportunities that provided comprehensive preparation for senior leadership roles. The program design acknowledged that women in scientific roles often possessed exceptional technical qualifications, but required additional support for developing the business and leadership capabilities necessary for executive advancement. Aetna Insurance had expanded their engagement to include comprehensive return-to-work programming that addressed not only individual career development, but also organizational policies and practices that either supported or hindered successful workforce re-entry. This initiative required policy analysis and recommendation development alongside individual coaching and group program delivery. The organizational policy analysis revealed numerous inadvertent barriers to successful workforce re-entry, including inflexible scheduling policies, outdated technology systems, and performance evaluation criteria that disadvantaged employees who had taken career breaks. The policy recommendation process required extensive collaboration with legal, human resources, and operational teams to develop solutions that address these barriers while maintaining business effectiveness. These expanded corporate engagements generated revenue exceeding $5 million annually, while providing opportunities for broader organizational impact that extended far beyond individual program participants. The enterprise solution approach enabled systemic change that could benefit hundreds or thousands of female employees, while demonstrating organizational commitment to gender equity and inclusive leadership development. The rapid growth in client volume and geographic distribution required continued investment in technology platform capabilities that could maintain service quality while enabling efficient delivery across diverse markets and client segments. The technology enhancement initiatives focused on artificial intelligence integration, mobile accessibility improvement, and data analytics capabilities that would support both service delivery optimization and research advancement. The artificial intelligence integration enabled personalized learning path recommendations based on individual client assessment results, career goals, and progress tracking data. This AI-powered customization improved program effectiveness while reducing the time required for individual coaching session preparation and follow-up activities. Machine learning algorithms analyzed patterns across thousands of client interactions to identify successful strategy combinations and potential challenge areas that required additional support or intervention. This data-driven approach to program optimization enabled continuous improvement while maintaining the personalized attention that clients valued in coaching relationships. The mobile application development provided clients with convenient access to learning modules, progress tracking tools, and peer networking capabilities through smartphone and tablet interfaces. This accessibility improvement proved particularly valuable for busy professional women who required flexible scheduling and location-independent access to career development resources. The enhanced data analytics capabilities enabled sophisticated outcome measurement and program effectiveness analysis that supported both service improvement and research publication opportunities. The analytics platform could track progress across multiple dimensions while identifying factors that contributed to successful career advancement outcomes. Integration with professional networking platforms and job search systems streamlined the application process while providing clients with enhanced visibility and connection opportunities. These integrations reduced administrative burden while improving program effectiveness through expanded networking and opportunity access. The technology platform enhancements required significant investment in software development and technical infrastructure, while maintaining stringent security and privacy standards necessary for protecting sensitive client information. The investment proved essential for supporting continued growth while maintaining competitive advantages in an increasingly crowded career services marketplace. Quality assurance systems ensured that technology enhancements maintained the high-touch, personalized approach that differentiated Phoenix Career Solutions from automated career services that lacked the comprehensive support and individual attention necessary for addressing complex career transition challenges. The systematic data collection and outcome measurement initiatives had generated substantial research findings that contributed to academic understanding of effective career development strategies, while establishing Phoenix Career Solutions as a credible source of evidence-based practices within professional development communities. The longitudinal study tracking client outcomes over 3 years provided unprecedented insights into factors that contributed to sustained career advancement success versus temporary improvement that did not translate into long-term professional growth. This research revealed the critical importance of mindset transformation and ongoing support networks for maintaining career momentum beyond initial program completion. Collaboration with Yale School of Management researchers had produced peer-reviewed publications in the Academy of Management Journal and Harvard Business Review that examined the effectiveness of integrated career development approaches compared to traditional services that addressed individual components separately. These publications elevated Phoenix Career Solutions' credibility while contributing to broader professional development discourse. The research findings demonstrated that comprehensive programming addressing both practical skills and psychological barriers generated significantly better outcomes across multiple measures, including salary advancement, leadership responsibility acquisition, and long-term career satisfaction. These results provided compelling evidence for the integrated methodology while informing program enhancement and expansion planning. International research collaborations with universities in Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom provided comparative analysis of career development effectiveness across different cultural contexts and professional advancement structures. This cross-cultural research revealed universal principles while identifying specific adaptations necessary for different markets and cultural environments. The research program had attracted funding support from the National Science Foundation, Ford Foundation, and several corporate foundations interested in supporting evidence-based approaches to women's economic empowerment. This funding enabled expanded research activities while providing additional credibility and visibility within academic and policy communities. Publication of research findings in academic journals and presentation at professional conferences established thought leadership while generating invitations for policy consultation and advisory board participation, with organizations focused on workforce development and gender equity initiatives. The research activities also informed program development and enhancement while providing marketing content that differentiated Phoenix Career Solutions from competitors who relied primarily on anecdotal evidence and testimonials rather than systematic outcome measurement and analysis. The combination of exceptional client outcomes, innovative service approaches, and rigorous research methodology had positioned Phoenix Career Solutions as the recognized leader in women's career development services within 4 years of organizational founding. Industry recognition included awards from multiple professional organizations, invitations to influence policy development, and opportunities to shape best practices within career development professions. The National Association of Women Business Owners recognized Phoenix Career Solutions as Organization of the Year, acknowledging both commercial success and social impact achievements. This recognition provided national visibility while validating the business model and mission alignment that had guided organizational development from inception. The Society for Human Resource Management invited participation in developing best practice guidelines for supporting women's career advancement within corporate environments. This engagement provided opportunities to influence industry standards while building relationships with human resources professionals who could recommend services to their organizations. The International Coach Federation requested presentation of research findings and methodology at their annual conference, where career development professionals from around the world gathered to share innovations and best practices. This international recognition established credibility within coaching communities while generating inquiries from potential licensing partners in additional geographic markets. Government recognition included invitations to testify before congressional committees examining workforce development policies and women's economic empowerment initiatives. These policy engagement opportunities provided platforms for advocating systemic changes that could benefit millions of women while demonstrating expertise and thought leadership within policy communities. Media coverage expanded to include features in major business publications including Forbes, Fortune, and Inc. magazine, which profiled the organizational growth story while highlighting innovative approaches to addressing persistent challenges in women's career advancement. This visibility generated inquiries from potential clients, partners, and investors, while establishing Katherine Williams as a recognized expert in career development and women's empowerment. Speaking engagements included keynote presentations at conferences for human resources professionals, women's business organizations, and academic institutions focused on organizational behavior and career development research. These presentations provided opportunities to share insights while building relationships that supported continued business growth and industry influence. The recognition and thought leadership positioning created opportunities for advisory board participation, with organizations including Catalyst, Lean In, and the Center for Women's Business Research. These relationships provided access to additional research resources and policy influence opportunities while aligning with organizational mission and values. The professional success and organizational growth had created opportunities for comprehensive life integration that balanced achievement with personal fulfillment, relationship satisfaction, and continued growth across multiple life dimensions. The transformation from dependent spouse to industry leader had encompassed not merely career advancement, but fundamental evolution in identity, values, and life purpose. The relationship with daughters Emma and Sophie had evolved into genuine friendship and mutual respect based on shared values and complementary expertise. Both young women had completed undergraduate studies with distinction, while developing career interests that reflected the modeling of resilience, strategic thinking, and social contribution they had observed throughout their mother's transformation journey. Emma had completed her business and public policy studies while securing a position with a nonprofit organization focused on women's economic empowerment in developing countries. Her work involved program development and evaluation that drew on insights gained through observation of Phoenix Career Solutions methodology, while addressing global challenges that required cultural sensitivity and innovative approaches. Sophie had graduated with computer science and entrepreneurship degrees, while launching a technology startup focused on developing applications that connected women seeking career mentorship with experienced professionals willing to provide guidance. Her technical expertise and understanding of career development challenges positioned her venture for success while contributing to the broader ecosystem supporting women's professional advancement. The relationship with both daughters provided opportunities for informal mentorship and strategic advice, while maintaining appropriate boundaries that respected their independence and individual career development paths. These relationships demonstrated successful modeling of professional achievement, integrated with authentic family connection and mutual support. Personal relationships had evolved to include genuine friendships based on shared interests and values, rather than social obligations or strategic networking requirements. These authentic connections provided emotional support and intellectual stimulation while contributing to overall life satisfaction and personal growth. The romantic relationship that had developed with Dr. Michael Rodriguez, a successful entrepreneur and philanthropist who shared commitment to social impact and women's empowerment, provided companionship and partnership based on mutual respect and complementary strengths. This relationship demonstrated the possibility of authentic partnership between accomplished individuals who supported each other's continued growth and achievement. The comprehensive life integration encompassed health and wellness priorities, travel and cultural enrichment, continued learning and personal development, and financial stewardship that aligned with values and long-term goals. This balanced approach to success provided sustainability while maintaining the energy and focus necessary for continued organizational leadership and expansion. The success of Phoenix Career Solutions across multiple international markets had generated substantial revenue and social impact that created opportunities for establishing a philanthropic foundation dedicated to addressing systemic barriers that prevented women from accessing career development resources and achieving economic independence. The Phoenix Foundation represented the natural evolution from providing direct services to creating sustainable infrastructure that could address root causes of career advancement disparities. The Foundation's establishment required careful strategic planning to ensure optimal impact while maintaining separation from the commercial operations that funded philanthropic activities. Legal consultation with nonprofit governance experts ensured compliance with regulatory requirements, while establishing governance structures that would support effective decision-making and accountability throughout the organization's growth and development. The initial foundation endowment of $10 million provided substantial resources for grant-making activities, while ensuring long-term sustainability through investment returns and ongoing contributions from Phoenix Career Solutions profits. This financial foundation enabled ambitious programming while maintaining independence from external funding sources that might compromise mission alignment or strategic autonomy. The Foundation's mission focused on three primary areas: expanding access to career development resources for underserved women, funding research on effective approaches to women's economic empowerment, and supporting policy initiatives that addressed systemic barriers to career advancement. These focus areas complemented the direct service delivery of Phoenix Career Solutions, while addressing broader structural challenges that required collective action and sustained investment. The board of directors included accomplished women from diverse professional backgrounds, who brought complementary expertise in nonprofit management, social impact investing, policy development, and academic research. Board composition emphasized both governance capability and authentic commitment to advancing women's economic empowerment through evidence-based strategies and innovative programming. Dr. Maria Santos served as board chair, bringing extensive experience in foundation management and grant-making from her previous role as program director at the Ford Foundation. Her expertise in evaluating social impact initiatives and managing complex funding relationships proved essential for establishing effective grant-making processes and impact measurement systems. Rebecca Foster joined the board as treasurer, contributing financial planning expertise and deep understanding of the career development needs of women seeking economic independence. Her ongoing work with Phoenix Career Solutions clients provided valuable insights into funding priorities and program development opportunities that would generate maximum impact. Jennifer Walsh, the former marketing director who had initially recruited Catherine to Hartfield and Associates, accepted appointment as governance committee chair. Her understanding of Catherine's professional development and commitment to supporting other women's advancement created continuity between the Foundation's mission and the personal transformation journey that had inspired its creation. The Foundation's grant-making strategy emphasized funding innovative programs that addressed specific barriers to women's career advancement, while building evidence about effective approaches that could be replicated in additional communities. Priority funding areas included career development services for low-income women, technology training programs for women seeking industry transitions, and leadership development initiatives for women of color who faced compound barriers to advancement. The Foundation's scholarship program addressed the critical need for financial support that enabled talented women to pursue advanced education and professional development opportunities that would enhance their career advancement potential. The program design emphasized comprehensive support that included mentorship, networking opportunities, and career guidance alongside financial assistance. The Phoenix Executive Fellowship provided full funding for women pursuing MBA degrees at top-tier business schools while participating in structured mentorship relationships with successful female executives. The fellowship program served 12 women annually while creating lasting networks of accomplished professionals who supported each other's continued advancement throughout their careers. Fellowship selection criteria emphasized leadership potential, commitment to advancing other women's opportunities, and demonstrated ability to overcome significant personal or professional challenges. This approach ensured that fellowship recipients possessed both the capability to succeed in demanding academic programs and the motivation to utilize their enhanced qualifications for broader social impact. The mentorship component paired fellowship recipients with senior executives from Fortune 500 companies who provided career guidance, industry insights, and professional networking opportunities throughout the two-year fellowship period. These relationships often continued beyond formal program completion, creating lasting support networks that enhanced career advancement opportunities. The Phoenix Technology Scholarship addressed the specific challenges faced by women seeking to enter or advance within technology industries, where gender representation remained significantly below parity despite growing demand for technical expertise. The scholarship program provided funding for coding boot camps, certification training, and undergraduate computer science programs, while offering specialized career coaching that addressed confidence barriers and workplace dynamics unique to technology environments. Technology scholarship recipients participated in cohort programming that provided peer support and shared learning opportunities while building professional networks within technology industries. The cohort model proved particularly effective for addressing imposter syndrome and building confidence necessary for competing effectively in male-dominated professional environments. The Small Business Innovation Grant Program supported women entrepreneurs developing businesses that addressed social challenges while creating sustainable employment opportunities. Grant recipients received funding alongside business development coaching, legal assistance, and marketing support that enhanced their probability of building successful enterprises that generated both financial returns and positive social impact. Grant selection emphasized innovative approaches to addressing persistent social challenges while demonstrating potential for scalability and sustainable business model development. Recipients represented diverse industries including healthcare technology, educational services, sustainable consumer products, and financial technology solutions that served underbanked populations. The Foundation's policy research program addressed systemic barriers that prevented women from accessing career advancement opportunities, despite possessing relevant qualifications and demonstrating strong performance. Research initiatives examined workplace policies, educational system structures, and government programs that either supported or hindered women's economic advancement, while developing evidence-based recommendations for policy improvements. The Workplace Flexibility Research Project analyzed the impact of remote work policies, flexible scheduling arrangements, and parental leave benefits on women's career advancement outcomes. The study examined data from over 200 companies across multiple industries, while controlling for factors including company size, industry characteristics, and geographic location. Research findings demonstrated that comprehensive workplace flexibility policies generated positive outcomes for both employee retention and advancement rates, while improving overall business performance metrics, including productivity, employee satisfaction, and customer service quality. These results provided compelling evidence for policy adoption while addressing employer concerns about potential negative impacts on business effectiveness. The educational pathway analysis examined factors that influenced women's participation in STEM education programs and business leadership development opportunities. The research identified specific barriers including inadequate career counseling, limited exposure to female role models, and financial constraints that disproportionately affected women's educational choices and career preparation. Policy recommendations included enhanced career counseling programs that addressed gender-specific barriers, increased funding for women's participation in leadership development programs, and mentorship initiatives that connected female students with accomplished professionals in their fields of interest. These recommendations were presented to state education departments and federal agencies responsible for workforce development policy. The child care policy research examined the relationship between child care accessibility and women's workforce participation rates, while analyzing the economic impact of comprehensive child care support programs. The study included comparative analysis of policy approaches across different states and countries, while measuring outcomes including employment rates, career advancement, and long-term economic mobility. Research results demonstrated that high-quality, affordable childcare programs generated substantial economic returns through increased women's workforce participation, while improving child development outcomes and family financial stability. The findings supported advocacy efforts for expanded childcare funding, while providing evidence for policy discussions at state and federal levels. The pay equity analysis examined factors that contributed to persistent wage gaps between men and women across different industries and career levels. The research utilized sophisticated statistical analysis to control for factors including education, experience, performance ratings, and career interruptions, while identifying specific practices and policies that either supported or hindered equitable compensation. Policy recommendations included enhanced pay transparency requirements, structured performance evaluation processes that reduced subjective bias, and regular compensation audits that identified and addressed inequitable pay practices. These recommendations were shared with corporate human resources organizations and government agencies responsible for employment law enforcement. The Foundation's International Development Program addressed the global nature of gender inequality and economic opportunities, while supporting innovative approaches to women's empowerment in developing countries. Partnership relationships with established international development organizations provided access to local expertise and implementation capabilities, while ensuring cultural sensitivity and community ownership of program initiatives. The partnership with Women for Women International focused on providing business development training and microfinance support for women in post-conflict regions who possessed limited access to formal financial services and business education. The program served women in Afghanistan, Bosnia, and Rwanda while adapting curriculum content to address specific cultural contexts and economic conditions. Program participants received comprehensive training in business planning, financial management, marketing strategies, and legal requirements for business operation, while accessing peer support networks and mentorship relationships with successful female entrepreneurs. The program design emphasized sustainable skill development that would generate long-term economic benefits rather than temporary assistance that created dependency relationships. Outcome measurement demonstrated significant improvements in participant income levels, business sustainability rates, and community economic development indicators. Women who completed the program generated average income increases of 120% within 18 months, while creating employment opportunities for additional community members through business expansion. The collaboration with Grameen Foundation addressed technology access barriers that prevented women in developing countries from accessing digital financial services and online business development resources. The program provided training in digital literacy, mobile banking utilization, and e-commerce platform development while supporting infrastructure improvements that enhanced technology accessibility. Technology training participants developed capabilities for utilizing digital platforms to expand market reach, access financial services, and connect with international supply chains that increased business revenue potential. The program particularly emphasized agricultural and handicraft businesses that could benefit from direct consumer access through e-commerce platforms. Up next, you've got two more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, You won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us.